Hello and welcome back to the channel. We've not made a video in the last 2 weeks. Uh, we we were on the high before we made the last video. We have won three on the bounce, beating Sunderland, beating Liverpool at Anfield, and beating Brighton. But we did have a setback, kind of a setback in the previous game uh, against Forest, which I thought we didn't play really well. Right, I thought Forest would have been a bit disappointed after that game coming out with just 1 point because I think they deserve to get more out of that. They deserve to win that game. But that said, we still will have to take the positive. We've 4 games unbeaten in the league. We are like 2 points off the second position, right? And I just think that is still positive even after that result. So lots to get into this in this video. We'll do the preview for Spurs game tomorrow. That happens tomorrow in the later video. But this is this is the collection of the result from the review of the Forest game and what we are hearing in terms of uh, some of the outgoings in Menu and Xerxes and potential signings. We saw Anderson and like how brilliant he was. I thought he was the best player on the pitch on that day, and how he could be a potential signing for Amarim in he could well be coming in January if he plays a bit, but he could come in next summer as well. So lots there. Then Ronaldo's remarks and how do you feel about this game going into Spurs game? So lots to get into. Let's just directly into where we are in the league table after this game. So we are, I think we are eighth. We'll just quickly look at the league table as well, right? So we are currently, I think we're currently sitting eighth in this before this game. We play the first tomorrow. If we go on to win, and I think the way we're playing, we're playing better than Spurs at this point of time. They did win in this Champions League, but they were poor against Chelsea, and probably that was their worst performance this season. I saw that game. I know but they played worse against Bournemouth, but at home against uh, in a derby to play like that, I just thought they were really poor in that game. So it could be a good matchup, and it's a good chance for United to go on before the international break and cement their position somewhere around the top four. So we win this game, we start. If we win this game, we'll directly go to number second position, which again we were in again in the Forest game as well, but only for like few minutes. We fell behind and then we drew and then we slipped outside of top four. So a good motivation to go win this game is that we finished second after our game, but of course we'll not stay there because City play Liverpool. Either one of them, regardless of what result happens, will go above us. Uh, Arsenal plays Sunderland. If Sunderland manages to win that game, they'll go above us as well, even though we win. At this point, you'll probably Arsenal are not even conceding a goal, so it'll be a bit difficult to say Arsenal at home will lose to Sunderland. But yeah, Sunderland win that game, they'll go above us as well. Then Bournemouth play Crystal Palace, if I'm right. So that result could have again affect our position, and Chelsea play Wolves. So still, we could still end up being, fifth or sixth, even if a lot of results like City, whatever happens in City or Liverpool game, or whatever happens in Chelsea Wolves game, we could still end up being would still end up being in the top four after this week. Uh, having said that, we I think we were in a good position to win last week and go there because Nottingham Forest haven't had a great start to the season. This is a third manager already and 10 games in. So we had the chance to go and win that game. We didn't do it. It's a bit difficult with this United side, even at this point of time after those 3 wins, right? They turn up in one game, they don't turn up in another. Uh, I'm not sure where's the motivation coming from. Is it a big game motivation? Is it at Old Trafford motivation, but it's just a bit difficult to pinpoint as to uh, what game we're gonna play good, what game we're gonna be again substandard like we were last season. So this game becomes really important for us. I think we've won both the games before the international break. We beat Burnley. We played well against Burnley, and we beat Sunderland again, a side that is in the top four. So we beat them as well before the break. So I think we could take that as a positive that before the break we have won the games. This is another game we could finish the October November period on a high and go on a break on a high. But Spurs will be a difficult game. But we'll review that in the preview video that we have for Spurs versus United. As of now, I thought in the Forest game we had some issues, and I think the one play that I've kept pointing out is Diogo Dalo, and I just don't think, and I just don't understand why and how does he uh, keep getting selected in that lineup? Is it his attacking capabilities? Is this his defensive capability? Because he was attacking output has not been anywhere close to where he actually plays, right? I saw Jamie Carragher's analysis where he said he ends up being in a position where you'll have Jeremy Doku for Man City. You'll end up having, uh, Grealish from Everton. You'll end up having some of the best wingers having the balls in those areas. But because of this system and because of how Amarim wants to play, ball ends up with Diogo Dalo, and plus he's a right-footed player, so he doesn't even put the ball in. He's not really good at those one-on-ones as well, right? So we I think everyone needs to realize, and I don't know why Amarim doesn't realize it, but that is a key position where we could, create a lot more out of for our strikers, for our inside forwards. But we just don't capitalize because we have a player who's not good enough, right? And I just think, right, it's just important that Amarim realizes this before this game and he changes it. Uh, the second one, of course, being Ahmad as well in the defensive areas. You saw uh, the the goal that we considered to Gibbs White and the cross that was being put in. Gibbs White challenging against Ahmad because he's that defensive wing back position that he's supposed to play under the Amarim system. He cannot cope with that, right? He'll end up losing headers, right? So you have Diego Dalo on the left in positions he should not be because he's not good on the ball in those areas. And then you have got Ahmad defending a ball in the box at the far post, and he's gonna get beaten in the air. He's good on the ball when he has the ball on his feet, but he's not good in the air, of course, because of his stature. So I like we've had a positive 3 4 weeks, a positive month for Amarim. A lot not has been raised about the system. I have been very positive, although I've been critical of Amarim, but I just do think Stu think this the system does not have the personnel. He could play the system, he could win games, but he's not playing. But he does not have the right players. Even if he has, he does not play them. So that could well affect our entire season. That could well affect the result of this game. But I think he needs to realize how does he change that. Also, recently, if you look at some of our games, we've tried to play differently. Like we have not tried to play a lot playing out of the back. We've played long balls against Liverpool. We played that game really well, right? Largely on that, we try to win second balls against Brighton. We put a lot of pressure on them, right? We put a lot of pressure on them by chasing the balls, right? We put pressure with the press and we won the balls high and we got the most of the goals that we scored were due to that press and winning the ball high and playing the ball quickly into the forwards. That does not translate into how do we play against Nottingham Forest, who sit back, who are physical in the midfield, will win the second balls as well. So now you have to come up with something different, and hence we did not play really well against Forest. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how we're gonna turn up against Spurs, but I just think Uh, we are in a position where Amarim needs to, like, decide one on the players, second also on the way he wants to play with the players that he has, and I think it's important to use them better. I think we've talked a lot about Bruno and Casemiro, and you need to look at that Forest game to understand why we need better players in the midfield. Yates and Anderson completely ran over Bruno and Casemiro, even with all the international experience that they have and UCL experience Casemiro has, and Bruno being one of the best players in the league in the last 5 seasons. We were still outplayed in the midfield by Nottingham Forest, who was 17th or 18th in the league so far. So, a lot of positives, but still, I think Amarim will have to look into uh, what went down in the Forest game and like try to work on it. Uh, I don't think we were expecting 5 wins in a row with the season we had last season and with the start we had. We'll obviously have some bumps. We're not defending well. Yes. One more point that I just saw, and I'll share it again. You look at the goals scored, right? And we'll probably be one of the best in the league on goals scored, right? Uh, we've scored 17 goals. The only teams better than us are uh, City at 20 and Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea at 18. So we were like fifth best side in terms of goals scored, and it's just a difference of 1 or 2 goals that takes us to the best in terms of goals scored. But in terms of goals conceded, right? You need to look at Arsenal at 3, City at 8, Sunderland at 8, Spurs at 8, United at 16, right? In the top half of the table, we have conceded the most goals, right? And hence our goal difference is 1. Now, I know they will not be in a position where league position is decided on goal difference, right? We were far off that, but still, it shows a problem of how easy we are to score against, right? Even with three defenders and two wing backs and Casemiro, right, as another defensive-minded player, we're still conceding a lot of chances. We're still easy to score against. We won the Brighton games 4-2, right? But up until 70 minutes, we did not let them have any chance. But then out of nowhere, they scored 2 goals against Nottingham Forest. They scored 2 goals and they could have scored more. So we're conceding a lot of chances. We're easy to play against. We're not like, of course, you cannot compare it to Arsenal, but even City at this point of time, I thought they were not great this season, and I still think they're not the City from the past. But again, even against City, it's not that easy to score, right? Against you look at some of the team like Tottenham, right? And there's been this for the past weeks, they're not playing well, but even them, they are not easy to score against. So I just feel United and Amarim need to figure that part out as well, right? I think we have a good shot of finishing top four if we can just work on a few areas, and the manager could be a bit flexible around the personnel, and changing his tactics from game to game, not using one game as example that we won that game and let's play this uh, in the same way, because teams are gonna figure it out, and I think Forest did exactly that. So that's where we are. I think that's we did not do a review video for the Brighton game. We didn't do the Forest video either, but this was kind of a summary of where we are and some of the issues that we're seeing. I think it's important that we win the game against Spurs. We'll do a preview of that and how could we line up. Uh, but yeah, I still think we're in a really good position. And no one would have expected these 4 games to for us to have like 10 out of 12 points. So we could win the Spurs game, and we could probably go into the international break on the back of a really good 4 or 5 games recently. So that's it for this video. We are gonna do a preview video tomorrow. We're gonna be more consistent with some of our videos, and please do subscribe and add comments as to what changes would you want to see in the videos coming up.